Yes. Good morning. In the last class, we were discussing about electric potential and capacitance, and we have discussed some of the important concepts with respect to electric potential. I have told you how to calculate radius of a big sphere, which is obtained by combination of n small spherical droplets, and also we have calculated what will be the potential of that big droplet, which is obtained by combination of n droplets. Also, we have calculated what will be the potential at a point on the charged spherical shell, at a point outside the charged spherical shell, and at a point inside the charged spherical shell. With this, we will now try to understand what will be the electric potential at any point due to a electric dipole. Electric potential at any point due to an electric dipole. So we have discussed all these things, and we have also solved this problem, calculating potential of a big sphere. See, here we have the concept of electric potential at a point due to an electric dipole. See, we know what is an electric dipole. An electric dipole is a pair of equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance. See, this is an electric dipole. Here we have a pair of equal and opposite charges, pair andre ಎರಡು charge ಇರಬೇಕು, minus q and plus q. Other the magnitude nodri, they both are equal, q and q, and their signs are opposite. One is positive and the another charge is negative. So a pair of equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance. The distance between two charges on dipole is 2a. This is called as dipole length. We have discussed about this in electric charges and fluids as well. A pair of equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance is called as an electric dipole. ಈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಕೂಡ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಟ್ ಎನಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಪಿ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ v is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p cos theta divided by r square minus a square cos square theta. Potential at point p due to this dipole, ಈ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಇಂದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ p ಹತ್ರ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, electric potential at a point due to electric dipole is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p cos theta divided by r square minus a square cos square theta, where p represents electric dipole moment of this dipole. E dipole the electric dipole moment, p represents electric dipole moment. Theta nodri, what is theta? Theta is the angle made by line joining theta illada theta andre enu nodri, theta is angle made by line joining point P to the center of the dipole. See, this line OP is a line joining point P to the center of the dipole. This line is making some angle with the dipole axis. See, this is dipole axis. Dipole axis jotige E line, the line that joins center of the dipole to point P. This line makes an angle theta with the dipole axis. So theta is the angle between line joining center of dipole to point P and the dipole axis. ಇವೆರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇರೋ angle theta. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p cos theta divided by r square minus a square cos square theta. R is distance of point P from the center of the dipole. What is R? R is the distance of point P from the center of the dipole. Center of dipole in the point P the distance R ಇರ್ತದೆ. A of course represents dipole length. 2a ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ dipole length, ಅದ್ರಾಗ ಅರ್ಧ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ a ಬರ್ತದೆ. And theta of course is the angle between line joining point P and center and dipole axis. This is the expression for electric potential at any point due to an electric dipole. If the dipole is very short, see what is a short dipole antandre, a short dipole is one whose length is very small in comparison with the distance of the point. ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಎಷ್ಟದೆ r, ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಈ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕೇಸ್ ನಾಗ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಹೌ ಇಸ್ ದ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್? Whether the length of the dipole is very less in comparison with the distance of the point, or length of the dipole is very large in comparison with the distance of the point. Hagadilli, how is the length of the dipole in comparison with the distance of the point? ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ dipole the length hagade, how is the length of the dipole with respect to distance of the point? How is the length of the dipole with respect to distance of the point? length of the dipole is very much less than distance of the point, or length of dipole is very much greater than distance of the point. ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಪಿ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಹೇಗದೆ? ಹೌ ಇಸ್ ದ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೈಪೋಲ್? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಹೌ ಇಸ್ ದ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೈಪೋಲ್? The length of the dipole is very less in comparison with the distance of the point. So, inta dipoles now we call them as short dipoles. A short dipole is one whose length is very much less in comparison with the distance of the point. ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಬಹಳ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅಂತ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ R will be very much greater than A. 2A ಇಷ್ಟದೆ, ಬರೀ A ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರಾಗ ಅರ್ಧ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ 2A ನಾಗ ಅರ್ಧ A ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ವಿತ್ R, A is very less, or you can also write R is very much greater than A. R is very much greater than A. If R is very much greater than A, then in this equation, in comparison with R, A is very less. However, this A cos theta or A square cos square theta can be neglected in comparison with R. R ಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈ A square cos square theta neglect ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. So, for a short dipole, electric potential at any point is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta divided by R square ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಈ A square cos square theta ಇಗ್ನೋರ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ, because it is very small in comparison with R. R ಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈ A square cos square theta ಬಹಳ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. So in comparison with R, A square cos square theta will be ignored. So for a short dipole, electric potential at any point is given by V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon at P cos theta divided by R square. Is this clear? Equations ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಡಿರೈವೇಶನ್ ನಾನು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಾವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಇದ್ರ ಡಿರೈವೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಅದೇ, ಅಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿಮೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಹಳ ಬರ್ತವೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಡಿರೈವೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ದ ಡಿರೈವೇಶನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಯು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಅದೋ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಮಾಡೀನಿ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ರು ಅದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಮಾಡೀನಿ. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದ ಕಾಲೇಜ್, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೀಚ್ ದಮ್, ರೈಟ್? ಅಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್, you just remember the formula for potential at any point due to a dipole. ಒಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹತ್ರ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1 by 4 pi epsilon P cos theta divided by R square minus A square cos square theta. If it is a short dipole, distance of point R will be very much greater than dipole length. Distance of point R will be very much greater than dipole length. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. This is the condition for short dipole, right? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ in comparison with R, A cos square theta or A square cos square theta can be ignored. So it will be left out with V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon P cos theta divided by R square. Right? Is it clear? Is the idea of short dipole clear? What is meant by a short dipole? A dipole whose length is very small in comparison with the distance of the point. ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ದ ಲೆಂತ್ ಬಹಳ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. If the distance of the point is 100 centimeter, the length of the dipole should be 1 nanometer. Distance of point 100 centimeter ಇದ್ರೆ length of dipole should be 1 nanometer. ಅಂತ ಕೇಸ್ನಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಆ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ನ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Is this clear? Is the idea of short dipole clear? Is the idea of short dipole clear? Okay. ಈಗ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ P ನ ನಾವು will shift it on the axial line of dipole. See, in electric fields, I have told you what is axial and what is equatorial line of a dipole. Illa nodri. This is dipole. This is dipole. A line drawn along the axis of a dipole is called as axial line. A line drawn along the axis of dipole is called as axial line. And if this is a dipole, a line drawn perpendicular to the axis of dipole. A line drawn perpendicular to the axis of dipole and from the center. ಈ ಲೈನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿರಬೇಕು? A line passing through the center of the dipole and perpendicular to its axis. This line is called as equatorial line. A line passing through the axis of dipole is called axial line. A line passing through center of dipole and perpendicular to dipole axis is called as equatorial line. Axial and equatorial line ನೆನಪವ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ if this point P, ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ P ಅದಲ್ಲ ಇದೇ ನನ್ನ ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, if the point P comes on the axial line, ಈಗ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹೀಗದಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ P ಏನನ್ನ ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಥೀಟಾ? ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ P ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಥೀಟಾ? ಥೀಟಾ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? What will be the value of theta if point P comes on the axial line? If point P comes on the axial line, what will be the value of theta if point P comes on the axial line? 0 antidare, correct? 0 na? If point P comes on the axial line, what will be the value of theta? What will be the value of theta? Okay. So, if point P lies on the axis of dipole, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, this is dipole and point P is now on the axis of dipole. If point P lies on the axis of dipole, theta becomes equal to 0 degree. We know that cos 0 is equal to 1. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ what happens to potential due to a short dipole? V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P. Cos 0 is 1. P into 1 is P by R square. So, electric potential at a point on the axial line of dipole, V axial andre electric potential at a point on the axial line of dipole is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R square. Electric potential at a point on the axial line of dipole is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R square. Q by R square ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇದ್ರೆ Q by R ಬರ್ತದೆ, R square ಬಂದಿರಲ್ಲ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂದ, Q by R. We are calculating potential due to a dipole, not due to a point charge. 1 by 4 pi epsilon P by R square ಬರ್ತದೆ. P represents electric dipole moment. I have told you how to calculate electric dipole moment. You must remember that. Electric dipole moment is calculated as product of magnitude of either of charge and dipole. Dipole ಮೇಲೆ ಎರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಎರಡರಾಗ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇದು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ತಗೊಳ್ರಿ. ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ you should not consider the sign. There are two charges on the dipole. Consider magnitude of either of charges on the dipole. ಎರಡರಾಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. Electric dipole moment is the product of magnitude of either of charge on the dipole and the dipole length. 2a is called dipole length. This is electric dipole moment. Need to remember. So electric potential at a point on axial line of dipole is given by V axial is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P divided by R square. So hagadre how does electric potential at a point on axial line varies with distance antandre, electric potential at a point on axial line of a dipole is inversely proportional to square of the distance. It is inversely proportional to square of the distance, right? Am I clear with this point? Electric potential at a point on axial line of dipole, when point lies on the axis of dipole, theta becomes equal to 0. Theta ಏನಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನಾಗೆ, ಇದು theta. ಈ ಲೈನ್ ಏನನ್ನ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ theta ಎಷ್ಟಾಗ್ತದೆ? 0 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Cos 0 is 1. So electric potential at a point on axial line is V axial is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P divided by R square. V axial is inversely proportional to R square. V axial is inversely proportional to R square. Am I clear with this point? V axial is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R square. Clear I do? Can you tell me what will be the electric potential at a point on equatorial line of dipole? Suppose e point ಏನನ್ನ equatorial line ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ, suppose point P goes on the equatorial line, what will be the value of theta? Theta value ಎಷ್ಟಾಗ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? What will be the value of theta? What will be the value of theta for equatorial line? 90 degrees. What will be the value of potential at a point on the equatorial line of dipole? Potential value ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. Potential value. What will be the electric potential at a point on the equatorial line of dipole? If the point lies on the equatorial line of dipole, what will be the potential? Theta 90 ಆಯ್ತು. We know that cos 90 is 0. 0 into anything will be 0. So if point P lies on the equatorial line of a dipole, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, this is dipole minus Q plus Q. These are charges on dipole. Point P is now on the equatorial line of dipole. When point P is on equatorial line of dipole, theta will be 90 degree. When theta is 90, cos 90 is 0. We'll substitute madri. Cos 90 zero. Zero into anything will be zero. So electric potential at a point on the equatorial line of a dipole is zero. At a point on equatorial line of dipole, there will be no electric potential. Alli electric potential iralla. At a point on the equatorial line of a dipole, electric potential will be zero. At a point on the axial line of a dipole, electric potential will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R square. However, at what point electric potential will be greater? Whether electric potential will be greater on axial line of dipole or it is greater on equatorial line of dipole andre ಏನು ಬರೀತೀರಿ? Electric potential, whether it is greater on axial line of dipole or it is greater on equatorial line of dipole. At what point electric potential is greater? At what point electric potential is greater due to a dipole? Whether it's greater on axial line or it is greater on the equatorial line of dipole. L ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ electric potential. Electric potential will be greater on the axial line of dipole. On axial line it will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon P by R square. See, we are doing these cases only for short dipole. Short dipole ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ. We are not doing it for an ordinary dipole, right? For a short dipole, electric potential at any point is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta divided by R square. This is the formula that you need to remember. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta by R square. If point is on the axial line, theta becomes 0. See, if point P lies on axial line, theta becomes 0. Cos 0 is 1. V axial is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R square. If point P lies on equatorial line of dipole, theta is 90. Cos 90 is 0. V equatorial becomes 0. So electric potential at a point on axial line is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta by R square. This is maximum value. Electric potential will be maximum on the axial line and it will be minimum on the equatorial line. Due to a dipole, electric potential is maximum at a point on the axial line and it is 0 at a point on the equatorial line. Is this clear? Is this clear? Electric potential at a point due to a dipole. Is clear ada? So this is regarding electric potential at a point due to a dipole. If the point makes an angle 60 degree with the dipole axis, theta must be substituted as 60 degrees. If the line joining point P makes an angle of 30 degree with the dipole axis, theta should be substituted as 30 degree. Cos 30, cos 60 substitute ಮಾಡಿ evaluate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. This is all regarding electric potential due to a point charge, due to a dipole, right? And we have calculated some of the special cases such as potential due to a bigger sphere, radius of bigger sphere and all those things. With this, we'll try to solve some of the MCQs. Ondashtu important type of MCQs are nodri. This may not be mentioned in your material. Material na ilde irbodu, but these are worth solving. One solve nim understanding kuda gottagtade. What is the work done to move a charge from one point to another having a potential difference of 5 volt? You are supposed to calculate work done to move a charge of 1 coulomb, to move a charge from one point to another having a potential difference of 5 volt. So there are 2 points. The potential difference between 2 points is 5 volt. You have to move a charge of 4 coulomb. You have to move a charge of 4 coulomb from one point to another point. What is the work done to move this charge? Options are 4 by 5 joules, 5 by 4 joules, 20 joules, 1 joule. See, I have told you, when potential difference between 2 points is given to you, you can always calculate work done in moving charge between those 2 points. Work done in moving charge from one point to another point is given by potential difference into charge. Work done is given by potential difference into charge. Hag bantu andre potential difference inda bandirtade. Potential difference between any 2 points in electric field is defined as amount of work done to move a unit positive test charge from one point to another point. dV is equals to dW by Q naught. Hagadre dW must be equal to dV into Q naught. Work done to move a charge from one point to another point in the electric field is potential difference into charge. So work done is equals to potential difference is dV, charge is Q. Potential difference avare kotbitre, there is a potential difference of 5 volt between 2 points anta. So dV is 5 volt. Charge to be moved is also given to us 4 coulomb. 5 4s are 20. V into C enu nodri. What is V into C? V andre potential difference represent ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. C ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ನ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. C is coulomb. Volt into coulomb. Volt into coulomb gives us work done. What is the unit of work done? Joule. So volt into coulomb represents joule. Volt into coulomb represents joule. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕೂಡ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತವೆ. A physical quantity is supposed or is observed to have unit volt into coulomb. What is that physical quantity ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟು ಕೂಲುಂಬ್ ಅದಂತ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಒಂದು ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿಗೆ. ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟು ಕೂಲುಂಬ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ? ಜೌಲ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಜೌಲ್ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರದ್ದು ಯೂನಿಟ್? ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಥವಾ ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಸಿ. ಸೊ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ. ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಇನ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಒನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಟು ಅನದರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ potential difference into charge. Can you tell me what will be the potential at infinity? Tell me what is potential at infinity. Potential at infinity due to a point charge. Potential at infinity ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? What is electric potential at infinity due to a point charge? Tell me what is electric potential at infinity. Very good. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ tell me what will be the electric potential difference. What will be the electric potential difference if a charge, ನನಗೆ potential difference ಅದು work done ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. If a charge is moved from infinity to a point in the electric field where potential is 5 volts. ಒಂದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ನ ಇನ್ಫಿನಿಟಿ ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ. A charge is moved from infinity to some point in the electric field. Potential at that point in the electric field is 5 volt. Tell me what is potential difference between that point and infinity. Tell me what is the potential difference between that point and infinity. A charge is moved from infinity to point P. Potential at point P is 5 volts. Tell me what is potential difference between point P and infinity. Very good. Potential difference should be always measured as potential at final position minus potential at initial position. ಹೀಗೆ measure ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Final potential minus initial potential. Initially charge was at infinity. Finally charge is at point P. What is final potential? 5 volt. What is initial potential? Initially charge was at infinity. Initial potential is 0. 5 volt minus 0, 5 volts. This is potential difference, right? So I think this problem is clear. How to solve problems on calculation of work done when potential difference and charge is given should be known. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅದೇ energy acquired by a charge. Energy acquired by a charge of 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb when moving through a potential difference of 1 volt is. You need to calculate what is the energy acquired by a charge of 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb when it moves through a potential difference of 1 volt. ಯಾವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb ಚಾರ್ಜ್ 1 ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಆಗ್ತದೋ ಅವಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಯಾರೆ. ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಒಬ್ಟೈನ್ಡ್ ಎನಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸೋ ಫಾರ್? ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಎನರ್ಜಿಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಬಂದದ? ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಎನಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಡಿರೈವ್ಡ್ ಎನಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸೋ ಫಾರ್? ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಡಿರೈವ್ ಮಾಡಿವಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಎ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಫ್ 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb while moving through a potential difference of 1 volt. Have you derived any expression for energy so far? Energy ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ equation derive ಮಾಡಿವಾ? ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಎನರ್ಜಿ equation ಮಾಡಿವಾ? ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. Yes or no? Have you done any energy equation?